Good evening, everybody. It is our Monday night Zoom call. I am Sherry Fredericks, and you are here because you are a part of the Dream Achievers team. So I'm excited. We've got a fun topic tonight. But before we get to the topic at hand and our amazing Shelley Akey, we are going to do some victories. Who wants to share a victory, business related preferably?
Sandy, you got one.
I do.
You had an amazing 2-day event.
Oh, I survived a 2-day event. Correct. Yes.
No, I said you had an amazing one, not you survived.
Amazing
was
and
good.
survived.
It was
Yes.
really
Well, that's exciting, Sandy. Your first one, and you did amazing. That's awesome.
I'm officially back at gold.
Yay!
I saw it switch over today, so I've been watching it.
Well, that's always nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I will share then. I had 2 in-home parties last week, one in Moorhead and one in Battle Lake. They're both just an hour from me. And remember, I live, I mean, not that I can't do a party 3 minutes from me. One was over 1,200 and one was over 800.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, so I need to share some of that on the team page. And I think I got 3 bookings at one and 2 at the other. So I share that to inspire you to get out and do some in-home parties. It's really fun. So, okay, last call. Hi, Amy. Welcome. Anybody have another victory they want to share?
I got the incentive goodies in the mail. Those are pretty awesome.
Oh, for the trip?
Yes.
Yeah, really nice. Did everybody get theirs that's going on the trip?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, it's super nice. Anybody have them handy? Mine's already in my luggage, but it's a fun thing. So, do you want to share what you got, Christy?
Yeah, give me a second to go grab it. Hold on.
You don't have to grab it, but you can. I mean, you can, but you can grab it if you have it handy. Sure, go grab it. Look at Christy. It's always fun to get fun mail, isn't it? While Christy is looking, one of my announcements is see where you're at for the next incentive trip. I was just talking to someone last week and she's pretty dang close. I didn't even know she was tracking. Okay, Christy, unmute. Tell us what you got there.
It is an awesome bag. It's the one, I can't remember what they call it, bottomed up. And it says, Shell yeah.
And it's really nice. And I did not realize until I was talking to one of the other team members that that's not even in the catalog, because this is in the catalog, but not that design. So that was made specifically for us, Christy.
That's what I thought, because the shell, yeah, that's what I thought. It was probably just for us.
That design is part of the Get a Grip, and it's called the Madeline. So that's the Madeline bottoms up. And I took the bottoms up with the green whatever, and it's ginormous when I went to Florida. So thank you for sharing, Christy. It's really pretty.
I actually thought it was made specifically for me. Shell, yeah.
Shelley, that's funny. I love it. I love it. Oh,
Yeah.
great. Thanks for grabbing that. It's always fun to get fun prizes, fun gifts. Okay. Well, let's move on to some more announcements then. First of all, raise your hand if you've been on the new TS Central. Everybody. And did you know that you can get badges? And I bet you know that. So I would encourage you to spend time. They ranked us according to leadership level today. Didn't Shelley or Sheila, did you guys look at that? If you go into TS Central and over on the left side, it says leadership ladder or something like that. And there's 16 diamond leaders. Guess where I was at? I was dead last. I seriously was the last one on the list. You know what? I got better things to do. No, I'm just kidding. I'm out selling. No, it was a good eye opener for me though, is to spend a little bit more time on TS Central. As you know, everything is going to be transferring to that. And it is kind of fun to get your little, are they called badges? So anyway, I just encourage you, don't be a loser like your leader, and get on there and get your points, but really that is where everything will end up. So definitely check it out.
I have a
Okay.
quick question about that though.
Yeah.
Like this morning, I had somebody that did party quick over the weekend. She had a bunch of people around. And so she got these orders together and she wanted them to have for this weekend, for Easter weekend. So I tried to get in there to put the party on this morning, and it took a 2-digit code and it kept saying recall or resend. And I needed to do it by 9 o'clock for the rush order. So not only did I miss out on her party, am I gonna have to eat those benefits for her so she gets them?
I'm not sure what you mean by the benefits, but I do know, I think there's the two thing often is at the top of each month. And then I think what was happening is you were just in such a hurry, because I was just on a call about this before. And when you get in there, it was probably loading, but it looked like it wasn't. So you're probably hitting it. And then, does that make sense, Christy? Someone was
I never did I hit it twice to, resend after a while. And so I did it twice. I never have gotten an email yet today with the 2-digit code. So the booking, I mean, like her free product is what I meant.
I don't understand her free product. What do you mean?
For her party, she had a party. So say it was $500, the $50 worth of free stuff.
For last month?
No, it would have been for this month. Because it was $1,000. So I didn't get to put a party in yet. I wasn't able to get into TS or my HQ or whatever you want to say. I wasn't able to get in there to put the party as she did it because it just happened over the weekend. So I just hurry up and put the order in as my name so we could get it in by 9 o'clock to get it. So it doesn't even show that it was a party. It just shows that it was my order because I was never able to get into my HQ.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess you could call, or you could do help at Tastefully Simple and explain your situation, Christy. And I bet they'll work with you. That would be my best recommendation.
Well, I figured they probably would, but
yeah, help at tastefullysimple.com. I do that today or before you go to bed if you can. And,
okay.
See what they'll say. So.
I did have trouble also getting in, and it took me, I think, 4 tries to get in because they only have 60 seconds before you have to get a new code. And my computer was just slow enough that I couldn't get the code and back into headquarters to put it in. So, or into TS Central. So I did finally get it to work, but I did have trouble with that also.
Shoot. Okay.
I didn't have the same ramifications though that Christy just
right.
shared.
Well, I guess keep playing with it and it continue to get better.
Yeah.
Someone's got a really weird noise. Okay, but always, reach out, and Christy, hopefully they'll help you. I'm sure they will. The Dips to Dinner incentive, thank you to everybody that participated. I don't know if you noticed I went live at 5:30, and Anna McCardle is the winner of the bag, and she can pick whichever one she wants. Did any of you see the sponsoring incentive that we shared on, I don't know, yesterday or April 1st or Friday? I think we shared it on Friday. Did anybody see that? Can anybody tell me what it is? Someone? Unmute?
Yeah, if we sponsor 6 people and they sell $250 by the end of June, we get to have a spa day with you at Party Palooza.
Now, some of you might think 6 seems like a lot, but you do 2 a month. And you could make it happen. So think of all those points you could rack up for the incentive trip. Most importantly, think of the fun people you're going to invite to your team. So any questions on that? Thank you, Shelley, for sharing. I just wanted someone else to talk rather than me. Okay. April 5th, which is this Wednesday, what's going on? Anybody want to share? April 5th. I teased you guys on another post last week or something. What's going to happen April 5th?
Registration opens. For
Amy,
Palooza.
Amy, winner, winner, winner. Yes. April 5th, Party Palooza registration opens up. Remember, when you promote to copper or above, you'll get to earn it for free. You do have to pay it for it up front, and then after you get reimbursed. We are staying, it's at the Mall of America at the Marriott. There's a separate link for that. And I actually already registered because I signed up for the hotel because I want to make sure that I get the Marriott. So you could jump ahead and do that. Just make sure you get the rate of $199 a month. I think it was last year at Party Palooza, they ran out of rooms. Is that right? So anyway, that's where I'll be staying. And there's joy in just being right, right there. So check it out. You can always cancel your room. Any questions on Party Palooza? All right, well, we better get moving then. Before we have Shelley, we have Sandy, who I asked to do the product knowledge. So Sandy, one of our newer consultants, she said, sure, I'll do that. So Sandy, I'll let you share.
Sure. Okay, I'll share. Being new, I'm not sure what products you guys have shared or not shared, but something that I tested out at the vendor event that I had was something called upselling. And we actually have an amazing product that is perfect for upselling. And it's something that I was actually surprised about, that people were actually like, hey, wait, what is that? And what I'm talking about is our seasoning grinder. How many people upsell? Yep. And if I don't see hands, that means maybe you're not quite sure what upselling is, but so imagine that you're selling this seasoning, and if you say, hey, do you need a grinder? Most times everybody grabbed it. I actually sold out of the dozen of them I had, which caught me completely off guard. And so that's just right now, that's an additional $8. And of course, if you buy them by the 2-pack, there you go. That's a win-win for you. Now, why do you think you need a grinder? Especially with this seasoning, it's perfect just by itself. But I actually went on the internet just to do a little bit of research as to the answer as why you should be using, or some of the benefits for a grinder. And one of them is because a lot of these seasonings are whole. And especially when you go to a restaurant and you use a pepper mill, everybody knows what that smells like, right? It's like, wow, great. Okay, it kind of wakens up the seasoning. And so that's one of the benefits that this does too. And it besides doing that, it actually gives more coverage. So again, like I said, there's my dog. I was really caught off guard, and I thought, you know what, this is a product that you probably haven't talked about. So I figured I would just put it out there and say, think about it the next time that you've got an event, and you'd be surprised.
Sandy, that is awesome. I do bring those to my fall, like before the holidays, but I should be doing it all the time. But I like what you said. It will wake up the seasoning.
Oh, it does.
It's true. But I mean, that's a great selling point. And then did you actually have one there like that so they could see what it looked like?
Yes, actually I did. I actually attached it to the garlic, and we actually grinded some. So
Yeah.
I actually had a couple people, because it was a 2-day event, they actually went home with one and came back and asked for another one. and I was already out. So
That's great, Sandy. That's such a great idea. Any questions for Sandy?
No, but thank you.
Yeah, that was perfect. Smart cookie you are. And that is a really good product. So, and we haven't talked about that.
I love them too. And one thing that I say, I'm gonna use your wording, Sandy, but one thing I tell people is that I like to use the onion at the table. And so when I grind it, I can put it on stuff and it's more like your regular table spices then. So that's another thing to mention.
That's awesome, Alice. You want to say anything else, Sandy?
no, it's just giving you something to think about because I know that it really clicked for me like, hey, wait a minute. So
Yeah, that's great. Awesome. Well, thank you very much. All right, well, we better get moving on because our topic at hand, I asked Shelley if she would share with us how to work your tastefully simple business when you work full time. So let me just tell you a little bit about Shelley. Shelley is a gold leader from Stillwater, Minnesota. She's been with Tastefully Simple since September of 2011. The size of her team is 33, and I know some of you here are on her team. Her family is Brad for almost 22 years, and they have has three daughters, Erin, Anna, and Heather, and two spoiled mini dash hounds. Are they there anywhere in the house, Shelley? Do we see
You
those?
usually see them wandering around. Oh, they're in their bed. They're in their beds now.
Oh, it's time for bed.
Bedtime.
So Shelley's day job is she is a bookkeeper for Stillwater Riverboats in Stillwater, Minnesota. She said it's a fun job. And I have been on one of those riverboats. And I think your daughter was working that one summer. And it really is fun. So what a fun company to be a part of as well. So please help me welcome Shelley Akey to our Zoom call. Yay, Shelley.
Thanks.
Shelley, if they have questions, you want them just to wait until the end?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Probably. Otherwise, I'll keep talking all night long.
Okay, take it away, girl.
Well, okay. So I don't know when I haven't worked full time. I've worked full time my whole entire life. But some of the things that I've learned throughout the years is commit to working your business every day, even if it's for 15 minutes. Set tasks, write them on the calendar. So like be specific, say, reach out to customers who purchased the dill pickle dip mix last year. So be specific with that and then set a date to follow up. And that's not a new task because that circles back to the original income producing activity. I've done training and I think this will be backwards. Yeah, it's backwards. It is ready, set, goal, a weekly planner. So it's got your dates, your goal, your top 3 priorities, and your most important tasks. And take this and put it on your calendar. So then, if you didn't finish something one week, you can carry it over to the next week. This is on my HQ. I believe it's under training. Speaking of training, there's a lot of training out there. And that could be another new task. Put it on your calendar, check out training. And, check out 15 minutes. There's, with the new TS Central, we might have some new things, that could be the, your business, check out training. Attend these meetings right here. Attend these meetings because they're very important. There's a lot of information here that can absolutely help your business and manage your time. The final thing I'm going to say is find an accountability partner and then exchange your tasks and follow up with each other. I did that a couple of times early on when I started, and I found it very helpful. Because, at the end of the day, you get down with your 8 hours or however long you work during the day, and you just don't want to do that 15 minutes. If you have a scheduled time with another person, they're going to say, so what'd you do? Who'd you follow up with? Just, and then you can, tap into them as well. And hopefully you can both be building your businesses at the same time. So, and not disrupt, you've got your full-time job, and thankfully mine is very flexible. So I'm able to do some TS stuff while I'm there, but you never want to disrupt that, if that makes sense. So I guess that's all I have. And one other thing is, I never want to put onto my hosts or my guests, well, I work full time, so I'm not going to be able to get to you right away. It's not their problem. And you're not going to build your business that way.
Excellent, Shelley. What questions do we have for Shelley? Those were great tips. Who has a question, or maybe you want to add on to what Shelley said? Is that
Yeah.
use the Ready Set Goal that's found on My HQ? That's a great reminder. Anybody use that? Alice uses it. Yeah. It's anybody remember where it's at? Do you remember, Shelley? Did you use
Yeah.
that as a result of that Leader Summit, or?
No, we didn't. I've done a lot of training with Leslie and with Susie.
Oh, yes. Goal setting, maybe? Or what do you think?
Yeah, it might be under goal setting. Hold
Yeah.
on.
Daily planner?
Yep.
No, it's not the daily planner.
Training and support, and then
Oh, here it is. Yep.
goal setting, and then it's under my weekly planner. That's what that is.
Yep. That's a great sheet. Or it's 2 pages, isn't it?
Yeah. And there's a lot more information on there, but this is, just kind of a easy, something to ease into.
So you feel it's really useful?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think so
I
too.
think so too. And if the 2-page is too much for you to handle, just do the first page.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go. Great tip. Who else wants to ask a question or add on to what Shelley shared?
I can add on a couple things that I do because at my job, I don't have a lot of opportunity to do anything than work my job. I don't have quite the flexibility that Shelley does. But what I do is if I need to catch up on Tastefully Simple, I will get up out of bed like 15 minutes early so I can spend 15 minutes time before I go to work. Or I take 15 minutes on my lunch break to do what I need to do. A lot of evenings when I get home, I don't feel like doing anything else, especially making phone calls, because I talk to people all day long and I just need to chill out in the evening. But if I do have things I need to do, I make sure as soon as I get home, I take 15 minutes to do that before I do anything else. Otherwise, if I sit down and start reading or relaxing, I might not get to it. So 15 minutes in the morning or at lunch or right when you get home from work.
That's awesome, Sheila. And you think about how much that adds up in a week.
For sure.
Do you ever
Great
schedule?
idea.
Oh, sorry, Shelley. I was gonna say, do you ever schedule time to work? You said you schedule your tasks, but do you ever schedule, like, maybe you don't have any in-home parties or whatever, so like Thursday night, do you ever schedule TS, or do you write that down, or do you just do it when you can, or what do you guys do?
Another thing that I learned early on from my original sponsor, when she would go to parties, she would have her monthly calendar and she would have days marked off that she was busy. She might be taking a bath that night or something, it's just, she was just not available for a party or whatever, because you don't want to overextend yourself, especially if you are working full-time. So you pull out your calendar and you've got X's on there and you say, these are my available dates. You don't want to give it all to them. And then you're kind of stuck and you might overextend yourself and not be the best TS person you can be.
Great idea, Shelley. Anybody else? I think the touching your business 15 minutes a day is really big though. And if you can do lunch hour or like Shelley and Sheila said, get up early and do it. I know a lot of consultants do that. And how about a goal buddy? Shelley, do you have any advice to some others here that are listening or on the screen here? How did you find a goal buddy or a pace partner or whatever you want to call it?
I've had a couple, and I think it's important to have someone that's kind of on the same level.
Mhm.
So that you're going for the same goals.
Right. So
If you're both struggling in one area, it might be the same area. Hey, I'm struggling with, booking parties. Let's do this. What are you saying to people? So it's more of a one-on-one, obviously.
Yeah. So don't be afraid to reach out to somebody. And I guess too, it doesn't have to be a forever thing. I
Right.
mean, maybe because I think you mentioned you've had a couple. And didn't you say that, Shelley?
Yep.
So, I mean, maybe it is a forever thing, but
I had one that I became accountability partners with at, I think, my first Party Palooza.
Yeah.
And she has stayed like down here. I don't know, you can't see my hands, but she stayed down here and I've moved up here. And I give her advice, and I get, I shouldn't say I get annoyed, but it's like, here's some ideas.
Sure.
And so I've outgrown that partnership.
Yeah. That happens. That happens for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, great advice. And I'm sure that all of you know to be successful, you want to be a Party Palooza. And the fact that it's here in Minnesota, of course, you can do virtually, but there's nothing like being in person, right? So hopefully you can make that happen. All right. Well, anything else for Shelley? Any questions that's in general? Thank you, Shelley. That was awesome.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Anything else in general? Nothing? Okay. Well, then I'm going to end the recording. And if you want to stick on just 1 second, no, not end the meeting, end the recording. And